Don't forget guys, if you're enjoying the channel, to hit that like button and share away, and why not subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the video? No, subscribe to the channel. What's up folks, I'm Topo and this is Run4Adventure. Welcome back to the channel, it's good to have you along. So we are back today with another shoe review, and it is a shoe review that you guys have been waiting for. So today we're going to talk you through Topo Athletic's new Mountain Racer 2. So if you're not familiar with the Topo brand, just a little bit of backstory. So they tend to design road running and trail running shoes, but I would say they're best known for their trail lineup. And their shoes are designed with this sort of foot-shaped design, very similar to an Ultra shoe, so it gives you that nice sort of natural roomy feel in the toe box. But the biggest difference between Topo and Ultra is you do get a bit of heel offset in a Topo shoe. So we've got a bit more height under the heel than the forefoot, giving you that slight lift in the back end of the shoe, whereas an Ultra shoe will be the same height under the heel and the same height under the forefoot, giving you that sort of zero drop experience. I hope that all makes sense, but before we dive into the review, don't forget guys, if you're enjoying the channel, to hit that like button and share away with the video, and why not subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Only takes a second to do and it is completely free, but while you're there, don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when we upload any new content. Right, so without further ado, let's dive into the video and give you a few facts and figures on the new MTN Racer 2. The shoe retails in the UK for £140 and it runs off a 5mm offset. So we've got 30mm under the heel and 25mm under your forefoot. As far as weight, it weighs in at 310 grams in a men's UK 9.5, and as far as I can tell, it is available in two different and quite unusual colorways when it comes to the men's and women's shoes. And about sizing, I've found it true to size with good width in the toe box. So there's a few facts and figures, but let's go into a bit more detail on the construction and the materials used in the shoe. So the second edition of the MTN Racer comes with this new engineered lightweight mesh upper for increased breathability. We've got some overlays running around the heel, around the laces and around the toe box for a bit of structure in that upper, but also a bit of added durability. Topo have added a TPU heel cradle to the shoe just to make sure you keep locked in for a nice stable ride. You get a moderate level of padding around that heel cup and ankle collar, and when it comes to the tongue, it's just a standard tongue, so not gusseted in the shoe, and it's quite thin in design when it comes to the padding. You get Topo's gaiter attachments on the heel of the shoe, you can see that there, and on the tongue, very similar to what we had on the Ultraventure 2 when we tested and reviewed it earlier in the year. Moving down to the midsole, and we've got this new updated 3-piece midsole construction, which now offers good depth of protection and cushioning underfoot. That comes from the zip foam multi-density design. So we've got a softer layer of cushioning close to the foot for comfort, and then we've got a firmer compound closer to the ground to offer good levels of connection and stability while you're hitting the trails. Working our way down to the outsole of the shoe, one of the most important parts of a trail running shoe, especially when you're living in the UK. And you get this nice 5mm aggressive lugged outsole, and that outsole is coated in the brilliant and super sticky Vibram Mega Grip rubber. So there you have it, the MTN Racer 2 from Topo Athletic, a lightweight, grippy trail running shoe that's been designed to handle a big mix of terrains over lots of different distances. We put some good miles into the shoe, and I know you guys have been waiting for this review. So let's run you through all the things we've enjoyed about running in the Topo trail shoe and see if there's anything we feel could be improved in the Mountain Racer 2. But let's start with the good stuff first. So this time around, I'm going to start from from the bottom with the outsole and we're going to work up the shoe. And the outsole was an area on the Ultraventure 2 that we tested that did let us down a bit in certain areas. So super happy to see that Topo have used Vibram Mega Grip on the outsole of the Mountain Racer 2. I'm a massive fan of this sticky compound, pretty much grips you on everything, and it hasn't disappointed on this outsole. I think this shoe definitely offered a better level of traction than the Ultraventure 2 because of that rubber. So gives you really good level of confidence underfoot. We've got this nice chunky 5mm lug on that outsole as well. So no problem on anything I ran the shoe on. And I think with that depth of lug, it's just about deep enough to handle a sort of wet, muddy British winter. Even though the midsole is quite deep in design, still got good flex in the shoe, so it adapts really well in technical environments and you feel nice and connected underfoot. Having that multi-density midsole with that top layer of zip foam has definitely added a bit of plushness. I definitely got a softer ride in this shoe compared to the Ultraventure 2. I was quite surprised how firm that shoe was, being my first experience in a Topo Athletic running shoe. So getting that softer layer of zip foam, giving a bit more cushioning, has been a really good touch. And lastly, moving up to the upper, and it's performed pretty well. You get, I think, a little bit more width in the MTN Racer when you compare it against the Ultraventure 2. You can see there when we hold them up, just a little bit more width, I think, in this shoe. More in keeping with, say, an Ultra width when it comes to the room in the toe box. Even though you've got that nice wide foot-shaped design, I felt really well locked in and dialed into the midfoot of that upper. So I haven't got a wide foot shape at all, and I had no lateral slippage within the shoe. When it comes to the heel cup and the ankle collar, nice and comfortable, and they offered me a really nice secure fit and hold around the back end of the shoe. So all in all, I've really enjoyed my second experience running in the Topo Athletics brand, and this was a shoe I was looking forward to testing because in theory, all the things I thought could have been tweaked in the Ultraventure 2 have kind of been done in this shoe. However, there are a few things I feel could have worked out better. The first one being the thin tongue in the upper of the shoe. Whenever I see that in a running shoe, alarm bells do go off and I do get a bit worried because I have had issues with that in the past. It's a funny thing, tongue padding, because it is a thin line when it comes to stripping out weight to make a shoe lighter or stripping out padding to get a better lockdown, and obviously losing comfort across the top of your foot. The tongue and midfoot design was something that I really liked in the Ultraventure 2, and it was one of its standout features. I felt super dialed in, super locked in, and very comfortable from that more padded tongue across the top of the foot. Unfortunately, to get a similar lockdown in the MTN Racer 2, it felt like I had to pull those laces tighter. I don't know because it's a wider shoe, but I definitely had to tug them laces tighter, and you've guessed it, having a thinner tongue, that did cause me a few issues on the top of my foot on some of my longer runs. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't super uncomfortable, it wouldn't stop me running in the shoe, but I do feel that that midfoot upper design was a bit more comfortable when it comes to the Ultraventure 2, which is a bit of a shame. And the last thing I'll mention is something I mentioned about the Ultraventure 2 as well. We still don't get a rock plate worked into this midsole. There was a couple of times when I was moving quicker in rockier areas where I did take a few stone strikes through that midsole cushioning. So I think it'd be a real welcome addition just to get a rock plate worked under that forefoot, just for a bit more protection when you're running in technical areas. So you can see the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and you know, the shoe has performed pretty good, and maybe it's just me being a bit picky, but we've reached that time in the review when we need to get some points on the Run4Adventure board. So let's start scoring Topo's Mountain Racer 2, and let's start with the price first. With it retailing for £140 in the UK, I do feel that is quite expensive, especially when you look at the other shoes it's competing against. Say, if we take the Salomon Ultra Glide, that's £130, so £10 cheaper, and you get a lot of similar features. I know whenever you use Vibram Mega Grip on the outsole of a trail running shoe, it does put production costs up, and you know, it is great rubber, but I think it's a little bit on the steep side, so we're going to give it a 6 out of 10 when it comes to price. Moving on to comfort and performance, and by having that zip foam close to the foot for that bit of cushioning and a bit of extra plushness, having good flex in the midsole so it adapts well in technical areas, and that addition of Vibram Mega Grip rubber offering great levels of traction, I think the shoe has performed slightly better than the Ultraventure 2. Personally for me, if I could take the midfoot and the tongue design of this shoe and switch them into the MTN Racer 2, I think it would have scored even higher, but still going to come in with a respectable score, and we're going to give it an 8 out of 10 for comfort and performance. Third on the list is the very important category of durability. Trails in the UK can be pretty tough on our trail running shoes, especially the trails I run and especially at winter. So we want those shoes to be well built to hold up to all those miles. I'm happy to say the Mountain Racer 2 is holding up really well. No early signs of wear, no stresses at the flex point, looks pretty well constructed. The outsole rubber holding up well, and I've crossed the shoe over to lots of different terrains including tarmac, and the wear is really good so far. So looks like the shoe is going to hold up to some nice mileage. So when it comes down to durability for the MTN Racer, it's going to score a well constructed 8 out of 10. So totaling all those points up for the Topo Athletic Mountain Racer 2, it's going to come in with a score of 22 out of 30. We always like to talk about the super subjective topic of looks here at Run4Adventure, and all of you out there know that I'm a big fan of bold, bright, colourful running shoes. I think when it comes to looks with Topo, it's an area they really need to work on, because, you know, if we look at their shoes, they're not that exciting, they're a bit bland, they look a bit dated. However, I think this is the best colourway that the MTN Racer 2 comes in. So I'm not going to give it a thumbs up, I'm not going to give it a thumbs down. Going to be somewhere in the middle when it comes to looks of the shoe. As far as other shoes that are going to perform similar to the MTN Racer, obviously the other Topo shoe that we've tested and reviewed at the channel, the Ultraventure, will do that. You do get a bit more width in the Mountain Racer if that's something you look for, and you've obviously got that addition of Vibram Mega Grip rubber on the outsole, whereas you get a more standard rubber compound on the Ultraventure. Ultra shoes are going to offer you a very similar fit and performance, so definitely worth checking out. The Timp 3, the Lone Peak and the Olympus, they've got similar depths of cushioning, similar grip, and they're all going to give you that same sort of roomy, natural feel in the toe box. Time to wrap up the review with a quick conclusion, and I think the performance of the Topo shoe has been pretty solid and pretty consistent. So if you're looking for a trail running shoe and you've always struggled with your shoes feeling too narrow because of your foot shape, or you just like that nice wide roomy toe box feel so you can be nice and relaxed and splay those toes on foot strike, you're looking for a trail shoe that's going to cross over and handle a big mix of terrains, and it's going to offer a good level of cushioning and a good level of traction underfoot, then I personally think the Topo Athletic MTN Racer 2 is definitely worth a look. Also, if you've always liked the idea of running in an ultra trail shoe, having that nice wide roomy toe box, but you've been put off by the whole zero drop thing and you're not sure whether that would work for you, then the Topo shoe is going to give you a very similar fit and feel around your foot, but you've got that added security of a slight heel offset. So there you have it, guys. That is a wrap on another review at Run4Adventure. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful. I've left links below for the MTN Racer 2 if you want to find out any more information on the shoe. Seems to be a pretty popular model of Topo shoe amongst the viewers. So if you've been running in the shoe, get in the comments below, guys. Let us know how you found the performance of the MTN Racer 2. It's always great to get your feedback. And don't forget, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, to hit that like button, share away, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. We will see you back here very soon. And as always, stay safe and keep on running.